What is up, y'all? Thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're new here, my name is Cameron and I do all sorts of fishing here on the upper Texas coast. And this morning we are out here on the beachfront of Galveston, Texas. It is a beautiful overcast day. The water looks nice and clean, and we're gonna see if we can catch some speckled trout in the surf. I'll show you everything I'm using, how I'm targeting these fish, and hopefully we'll get hooked up. So y'all stick with it, stay tuned, and let's see what we can get into. All right, so to start off this morning, I'm gonna be throwing a top water. Anytime I'm fishing during the summer, especially on the beachfront, I always like to start with that top water. These fish are usually feeding very aggressively, and they love to come up and smack this lure. And there's nothing better than a top water blow up to start your day. For those of you that are interested, I will go over the conditions real quick. This morning we have 1 to 1.5 foot waves, which is definitely fishable for the surf, but they are very close together at only 3 seconds apart. So it's a little choppy, but not too bad. We have a outgoing tide this morning with a low tide around 10 a.m. The wind is blowing at, predicted to blow about 12 to 13 out of the southwest, but it's currently blowing about 6 or 7. And it's kind of swirling this morning. It's blowing south, southwest, switching around to northwest, which if you're from the area, or even if you're not, west is worst for our area. But luckily we've had some calm winds the last few days, so the surf is clean right now. Very clean for a west wind. And because of the wind and the waves, I am tucked in behind a jetty, as you can see here. These little jetties run all down the seawall. And anytime you have a west wind, they're a great spot to tuck in and get protected from that wind and from those waves. So that's the reason I'm fishing here. A little bit different than where I would normally fish, but we should be able to get on something. You can see the sun's just now coming up. I also have my dad over there. We're gonna see what we can make happen. Just coming out for a quick morning trip. There should be fish. Oh, nice trout. I just said there should be fish right here. Is that a redfish? That is not. Oh, it's foul hook. That's a nice trout. First fish of the day. Well, he ate it, but it hooked him in the chin. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's how I like to start my mornings. Nice 17-inch trout. First fish of the day right there. Beautiful sunrise. He's kind of foul hooked. Woo. All right, there should be some more out here. There's one. Feels like a nice fish right here. Ah, he's undersized. Whoa, almost got hooked. Trout number 2 of the day, little guy. Cast back out there. My dad seems to be hooked up on a good one here. Oh, nice trout. Old shirtless Mike, as we call him. Look at that, that's a nice trout. That's a solid like 18, 19 inch trout right there. Nothing wrong with that. And he's throwing a soft plastic Norton Sandale Jr. on a 1/8 ounce jig head, LSU color. Beautiful trout. We've been eating a lot of fish the last few days, so we're not planning on keeping any fish. Unless they're hooked bad and look like they're gonna die, I might take a couple home for the catch and cook. You never know. Right there in front of me. Nice little blow up. Feels like a decent fish. No, he's little. A little male here grunting. Whoa, nice trout. That's a good one. That's my best one yet. There we go. You always know it's going to be a good trout when the first thing they do is come up and just start shaking their head with their mouth wide open. You can see that yellow mouth. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, real nice trout. Barely hooked, too, so if he pops off, I'm not worried about it. I'm going to try to do a right-handed land on this guy. Of course, I go to tap him to try to get him to get that energy out, and he doesn't move, and then when I grabbed him, he just freaked. Look at that. All right, y'all, check that out. Nice speckled trout right here. Boom. Hook fell out just like that. Let's go ahead and get a release on it. All right, that was a nice trout right there. Let's get back out here and see if we can catch a couple more. So as y'all can tell, I'm actually casting parallel to the beach. The fish are not always going to be straight out in front of you, especially if you're standing right on the edge of that gut. If you don't know what a gut is, a gut or a trough is the low spot, the dip in between the sandbars. And that's where the fish hang out and cruise and eat. So they're not sitting up on top of the sandbars. And if you're casting up on top of a sandbar, you're most likely not going to get bit. So casting sideways like this is a great way to cover more water, cover more of that gut, and find the fish. There's one right there. That's a little guy. I think he's off. But just like that. Well, y'all can tell we have some dark skies moving in. I don't think we have too much longer to fish. So I'm gonna make a couple more casts with this topwater, and I'm gonna switch over to a plastic and see if I can get some on that. I've probably made about 20 casts without a blow up here. I'm switching up lures here to a 1/8 ounce jig head and a coastal brew. Very natural color right here. See if they're gonna hit these plastics. The bite might just be over. Check that out. I believe this is a 5-inch lure right here. As you can see, it's kind of just a little fluke action. Has some good side-to-side movement. See if we can get a bite on it. Start by casting this gut that's right behind me. And to work this lure, just like I do any soft plastic, twitch, twitch, pause, and sometimes 3 twitches. And a lot of times the bites are going to happen as the lure is sinking. So we'll see. Y'all take a look at this cloud right here that's moving out in front of the beach. There's actually 2 water spouts forming. There might be a third right here. Pretty good little storm out there. And I did just see some lightning pop off that way. So I only have time for a few more casts. There we go, right in front of me. Boom. There we go, man. This guy ate like a foot in front of me. There we go. That would right there would be my limit. That is my third trout. That's yeah, he's right at 15. Oh, and there's lightning popping. Time to go. All right, getting out of the water here. The lightning is getting closer, and I just heard the thunder for the first time, which means it's definitely getting closer. Bad news though. When I got out, I looked behind me and I realized my wade belt wasn't here. My ring net, and I see it floating up here. It must have came detached, so I gotta run over here and get it. It's crazy how even when there's lightning right here and thunder, there's still people swimming way out here. Not worth it. I know y'all saw that one. I hate lightning, bro. Well, just got back to the truck. That lightning and that thunder was getting a little too close, and I'm not trying to become a statistic. So I did end up catching my 3 fish limit. Didn't keep any of them, so there will be no catch and cook, but it was still a good little like hour and a half out there on the water. Caught a bunch of fish on top water, a few on the plastic, and I always get questions asking what wading gear I'm using. Now, a few videos ago, I went through like a 5-10 minute segment in the video and went over everything I use, but the most common question is what rod and reel I use. So I'll show you right here. This is the Waterloo HP Light. This is a 7-foot medium light rod with a fast action tip. That is by far my favorite wade fishing setup. And then for the reel, I have a Shimano SLX DC. Now, people always ask, does this reel even last? How are you using your SLX in saltwater? To be honest with you, I don't think there's any reel that lasts in the saltwater, but you do have to take care of them. So try to keep them out of the water when you're wading, especially in the surf. This is known for killing reels. So try to keep it out of the water when you're wading. And then when you get home, just give it a light little mist, loosen your drag all the way. And that's what I found works for me. And I've kept these reels. I actually just got a brand new one, but I had my last one for about 3 years with no problems. So there you go. With that being said, guys, we're gonna get out of here before we get rained on. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're not already. If you are, like always, I thank you so very much. Many more videos to come. We have some great weather coming up, so I'll be out here on the water fishing a whole bunch. That's it for today. Until next time, peace.